Travis Wayne Goodsell. Normally I'm gone. I've tried to designate Tuesdays to get the hell out of here and get fast food in me at least, because this place is literally killing me. And we have a high warning alert here. Okay, he's leaving. He just doesn't get it. There were guys threatening his life yesterday, and yet he's back again. He does not stop. He purposely wanders in to steal stuff. And since he is known as a thief, he tries to buddy up with somebody, and nobody wants to buddy up with him because everybody knows he's a thief. It's just, the dumb remain dumb. And that does have the theme for this video. Because nobody seems to know the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, despite all the church's efforts to do national advertising campaigns and public appearances. Still to this day, nobody knows the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. In case in point, yesterday, Religion News Service, it's not Mormon, it's Christian, I did an article, how opposition to Prop 8 led Latter-day Saints to back Senate's same-sex marriage bill. They don't know the LDS Church. They have spent decades teaching their members of the dangers of the church and of the church's doctrines, and yet, still to this day, they don't know the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Just unbelievable. I don't understand. I mean, the born-again Christians in Southern California, while I was growing up, they seemed to all think they knew who we were. I would eventually go on to watch that video, but no, they don't fully grasp that either. But it does have some key things that these people should have caught on to, because of the polygamy issue of Heavenly Father having polygamous marriages and Jesus having polygamous marriages are in that video. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on the name of the video. But I did catch that they don't make that connection. The church has fooled them. And so let's skim over and see if there's things to talk about, or I'll just go over the history of the church, because Mormons don't know. I didn't know. Born and raised Mormon, they wouldn't teach me stuff, specifically because it would tank their authority. They can't do that, so they have to lie to us. And they get Mormons who are loyal and are weaponized in the lies, especially the younger generation now that have no clue of what I have personally experienced as a Mormon. I went through the old, and I mean by old, pre-1991, not pre-2019. And so as a result, Mormons don't realize that this is the knife, and that we were supposed to kill ourselves when we didn't keep the temple path. And so thus the thumbnail picture and the video I did the other day, if not yesterday, from A Clockwork Orange. If you had followed the covenant path, this would not be necessary. So they're referring back to 2008, Prop 8, how the church tampered, as they are supposed to be tax exempt by not tampering, and the government doesn't take away their tax exempt status. It lets them keep it, and that was a big mistake. Okay, so there's the Utah Compromise of 2015. No, they don't know the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I'm just too sick to go out. In which LDS leaders backed an anti-discrimination law to protect LGBTQ people. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. You see, because the law carved out religious liberty protections. That's why they supported it. Had nothing to do with protecting LGBTQ. It's always about getting their religious freedom in. That's why they support the bill. I mean, it could be a bill that allows somebody to build a skyscraper in downtown Salt Lake. And the church says, well, we're not going to approve it unless you put in our religious freedom bill. You know, now we support it. People aren't making the connection. People think the church is softening on LGBTQ. Hell no. This is why the church keeps pulling their stunts over and over again that shocks the LGBT community. I thought we were building bridges of friendship. What happened? Why did you betray us again? You know, there's the fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, nor shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. The church has done this fooling multiple times now. And so what does that say about everybody, not just Christians, not just LGBTQ, not just Mormons, not just outsiders looking in? The church is not softened its position, ever. Because it's the will of God. Do you not understand this? So, yeah, the church is not working with LGBTQ. They're pretending to. The church still hates blacks, but they're pretending to work with NAACP. The NAACP had to give racist counseling to the church leaders, and the church leaders said, oh, that sounds great, we'll send some of our lesser priesthood to work with you on this. You guys, shame on you for getting fooled. Women, oh my God. Again, shame on you for getting fooled. The poor, I've known prior to being poor, and there I am now, and it's even worse than I knew. So shame on me for not taking it to the extreme as I should have. The church not only hates, but they purposely, physically hurt and harm as part of their hatred. This is the danger of the church. They are white supremacist. Anything they do has an ulterior motive behind it. And it'd be nice if we can get more honesty like we used to in the good old days, when the church would then have to do a second edition, a third edition, a fourth edition. So that's why I'm shocked that they released the Handbook of Instructions. But, I mean, dear God. Yeah, let's see. There's the polygamy part. The Respect for Marriage bill included this summer gained traction this week after a group of U.S. senators proposed. No, it was the church. The Deseret News came out and confessed. The Deseret News is awesome for confessing the sins of the church. It's like they are so caught up in the church that they don't realize that what they're doing is exposing the church for their crimes and sins. I did the video. And so again, people are not doing their research here as they should. They're just going off of, oh, the outward appearance. Oh, the church is softening. Adding protections for religious liberty. Protections. Yeah. Yep. You see, because other people get civilly married. Is that a threat to religions? Why is that not a threat to religions? And for the church, why is other people getting married civilly or in other religions? Why is that a threat to the church? Why does the church need to step up and say, I need my religious freedom? Other people are getting married. That's a threat. No, it's just LGBTQ. And so, yeah, and banning polygamy. No, it didn't ban polygamy. It didn't. I don't know what you're talking about, guys. I've read to you, no church can be legally liable for denying services to any marriage they oppose, to any person whose marriage they oppose. And so maybe that's what they're thinking, because here's what they go on to say in a quote by Patrick Mason, a professor of LDS history at Utah State University. And so it's likely there are those who know him, who watch my channel. This is what he says. I guarantee, are you the authority for the church? Are you the spokesperson for the church as they came to you and said, we're not going to practice polygamy? I guarantee the church was happy that polygamy is not protected. The church does not want to touch polygamy with a 10-foot pole. Are you sure? Are you sure? Have you not gone to the temple lately? The new change, which the younger generation all know about now, there's certain pronouns that are used. So, the younger generation can even catch on if they've learned English goodest, because of the pronouns that are used. And there's a common phraseology that is code word for Mormons, according to his law. And Nelson's been pushing that, calling it the higher law, as the Book of Mormon videos have now come out with the higher law of Jesus. There is no higher law. It's all a con. But what Nelson is doing by making this change to the higher law is the celestial kingdom and the requirements to get into the celestial kingdom, which according to section 132 of the Doctrine and Covenants, which says that his law, he calls it a law, and all Mormons must obey, is polygamy. Now, like Brigham Young framed Joseph Smith, put his name to it. I've done the videos because I've done the research. The linguistic pattern is Brigham's. From his temple endowment setup and from talks that he's given, it's Brigham's. He purposely put it in the year before he died because the United States was putting so much pressure for him to stop the practice. And he refused. You know, the United States took over the land the very next year in 1848. And Brigham Young was pissed. And so in 1849, he starts the Perpetual Immigration Fund, which was a human trafficking operation where the saints are put deep into debt and have to work off the debt once they get to the Salt Lake Valley. And it was for the sole purpose of building up an army to go against the United States to reclaim his land that he had stolen from the natives in 1847. And so the United States was so much stronger than Brigham Young and were able to resist him. And so in 1851, Brigham Young then incorporates the church as the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, has Willard Richards redo the history to put in Jesus Christ so that Joseph said it. And you can see the Joseph Smith Papers. Joseph Smith Papers, guys, online. Why aren't you looking at it? Why aren't critics looking at it? Why am I the only one using the Joseph Smith Papers now? Because it's the authoritative source. Our scriptures are null and void because the Joseph Smith Papers are the original authorized authoritative source. And I don't get it. They continue the lies in their videos and refuse to look at the Joseph Smith Papers to find out that Joseph Smith was framed. Why are you afraid of this, ex-Mormons? Why are you afraid to find out that Brigham Young's the big bad enemy in all of this? I don't get it. Because Joseph Smith's church is gone. You don't need to fear it. It's Brigham's church that was resurrected by Heber J. Grant in 1923. This is what you need to fear. But yet you're all concerned about Joseph this and Joseph that. God. And so, yeah, he established polygamy, established the church, openly practiced polygamy. Now everybody has to do it. And so the United States, battling back and forth, sent the army in, delayed the temple building in Salt Lake with the inverted pentagram of Lucifer. It's just, dear God, nobody knows the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It was blatantly obvious. Even my born-again Christians understood that we had the symbol of Lucifer. As Peter, can't remember his last name now, we were the Twin Towers on our high school basketball team, and often, and other times we would be called the two oxen, or he would be the ox and I would be the mule, because of the incident that happened where another player during a game jumped me rather than dove for the ball, and he ended up flying right over the top of my back, and the whole audience gasped. And, they were all trying to say that the coach was asking if I was okay, and, no, yeah, I'm fine. And the coach pulled me aside. You need to learn how to fake it. Because that would have been an excellent opportunity to fake an injury to punish the other side for the stupidity of the one player and get him evicted from the game or whatever, so that, they're going to pull a dumb stunt like that. But, I'm young. But, I just... And so you've got Heber J. Grant publishing the official declaration, and it lies to us that Wilford Woodruff's the president of the church. The church was shut down by the United States finally in 1887, stopping the Perpetual Immigration Fund human trafficking. And it horrifies me that people are unwilling to simply Google search Edmunds Tucker Act and learn the truth. They won't. Joseph Smith Papers. They won't do this. Ex-Mormon, Mormon, just are lazy learners. Like Nelson said you guys all are. Just unbelievable. And so Brigham Young's kingdom was destroyed, died from the face of the earth. His Zion gone. And so, under Heber J. Grant, that Council of Friends chose to be called the Council of Friends, rather than taking the name the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which was open and available for them to take, and they chose not to take it. And so Heber J. Grant reincorporates with the same name to fool everybody into thinking nothing's happened, everything's fine, same church. We just don't do that anymore. It was religious persecution that we had to stop. No. It was crimes. And so, in this instance, they're continuing the tithing scam, the tithing crimes, to pull themselves out of debt and to make their wealth. And they've obtained, while not incorporated, $1 million. And back in the early 20s, that's a lot of money. And so, for what end? They want to buy up the land of Utah. Why? For their kingdom. They buy the land, it's theirs, they run their organization. And then they also are buying up all over the world. Why? Well, because the second coming, according to Joseph Fielding Smith, Jr., in The Way to Perfection, which is what crossed the line and got me here after they failed to assassinate me several times. But again, they sent the death threat, letting me know that you've crossed the line, Travis. You shouldn't have found out about that. Well, what did you expect? I'm going to find out everything. When I have a question, I keep researching until I find my answers, because nobody else is giving them to me. And so I'm a pioneer in many fields, having been the discoverer, the decipherer of many things as a result. I will not be told. I don't know. Nobody knows. Wait until you're dead. If it's important, you'll find out. That's an excuse. I don't want excuses. I want answers. And so it frustrates me because I'm not able to. I'm having to spend the long hours making reference materials and doing the research that take volumes of works to do and run test experiments. But I get my answers. And I don't stop until I get them. And then every single time, I get more than I asked for. And so, in The Ways to Perfection, in my edition, page 290 and 291, under the priesthood, he's talking about Adam-on-Diamond. And at Adam-on-Diamond, Lucifer hands over the keys of government to Jesus. Yeah, this isn't really true. He's exposing something that he probably shouldn't have exposed. Because at first read, Mormons are going to get scared. Lucifer hands over the keys to Jesus? What is Jesus doing at a priesthood meeting? Or Lucifer doing at a priesthood meeting? But let alone handing over keys of government. And do you understand this? The church is being given the keys of government from all over the world, not just the United States. And I exposed this. And so, yeah, they want me dead. But as we've now witnessed with this Respect for Marriage Act, the church had Plan B in mind. And that is, as they continue to buy up land, not just Utah, but around the world, they've got the religious freedom movement that they keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. We demand our religious freedom. You've already got it. No, we need our religious freedom. You've got it. No. Yes, you've got it. It's in the First Amendment. You know, the Constitution, the law of the land, Article of Faith number 12. No, we need to protect our religious freedom. Yeah, it should raise red alerts for everybody that they pushed this movement. And now we understand why. It's because of that little clause. The church cannot be criminally liable for disobeying the law, for not giving LGBTQ their rights. They're using LGBTQ to push their agenda. And are you able to put the picture together? They've had their land of Zion taken from them. They're buying up the land. They tried to get the Senate to sign into law on the 18th, which was stopped. You're welcome. Church sent me a death threat for that, by the way, in case you were wondering. So right before Thanksgiving. Yay! The longest holiday weekend of the year, in which I cannot contact anybody for help, and I get the death threat. And you can't put the pieces of the puzzle together. That the church is a corporation. They're not a religion. They own property, businesses, land. And this clause says that only temple-worthy Mormons who pay tithing are worthy, are allowed to work for the church. And the church can deny services and sales to those who are not living their highest law of Jesus. Do I need to spell it out? Z-I-O-N. They're bringing it back. And they're not giving up on polygamy. Because Nelson, in the law of the gospel and in the law of chastity, according to his law, which is section 132, which was from Brigham Young, they're bringing back polygamy because that is the marriage that they approve of for Jesus' higher law. You got the peanut gallery chomping down.
I was. It's never one each day.
And their whole intention is to secede from the nation. Because the passing of the law will allow the church to take over the state of Utah and call it Zion. The government can't touch them anymore because the church cannot be criminally liable for denying services to anybody whose marital marriage they oppose. And so, remember Roe v. Wade? Yeah, those are marriages the church opposes. A woman who's been raped, you know, we've seen it at BYU. The woman who's been raped gets punished by BYU because the church opposes her. They're white supremacists. They hate women. You've known this, but again, you've been fooled for continually thinking, no, they don't actually hate women. And they fool you again and again and again and again and again. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me a billion times, shame on you.
Have you seen your bunkmate?
And so, I don't know what more to scare you about is that the church is going to establish their Zion. That's what Nelson was talking about in the coming days.
Sorry.
Apparently, the peanut gallery wants attention. Doesn't want me to make this video. So yeah, we had the cops come in too, looking for a roommate or a cellmate. I need to get the wording correct, guys. Bunkmate, cellmate. But yeah, how do I get this through? That my videos, the church doesn't want you to know about. And so the few of you who find out about this, why aren't you not only spreading the word as far as you can, but watching all my videos to find out what the church doesn't want you to know? Why do I have to keep repeating the same videos over and over and over again? Because it's a whole new batch of viewers. You know, I just got a brand new viewer the other day who says, oh yeah, I found out about Nelson from this other group that says that Nelson's part of the Skull and Bone Society. I just did that video for another person who asked me about it. And so I just linked her to it. Haven't heard back from her. It's just, guys, the church is far evil in and of itself. But if you haven't caught on, the enemy has made themselves noticeable. They all have this. But you're not catching on as to what they're doing. They're replacing the Jews. the Jewish scripture, the Jewish prophecies, the Jewish Christ. Because John the Revelator, Jew, he's the one prophesying. Not a Christian. A Jew is prophesying of the latter days. And so it's not Jesus he's prophesying about. He may use the name as part of his coding because Hebrew names have meaning. And I've done that video for you as well. But it's the Jewish prophecies that are happening, that are being fulfilled, not the Christian prophecies. And this is what's upsetting those in power, as they are inciting anti-Semitism. So